Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing an online quizzes tell me what to read. Now I have a few books in mind that I am going to try to work my way to get to read what I want to read, but these quizzes are going to tell me what I read. Okay, so after trying several quizzes, I finally took this one that was like, I have the perfect book for you to kick off your Goodreads goals. And it came up with If You'd Been With Me. And so what I did is, I don't have that book, but I just looked on Libby to see if it was available and I could read the sample. I read most of the sample, but then there were just some things in it that are very typical YA, but presented as if every teenager does these things, so it's just perfectly normal, that I don't like. So I read like 30-ish pages, but I'm done with that. What I wanted to do though was read the sample and then choose whatever physical TBR book that I have that kind of is the closest to it. So there were two books that this made me think of. The first one is one that I tried in a recent try chapter, which was The Lying Game by Ruth Ware, and that could work, but I think the teenage, like, angst, Mean Girls, cliquish vibes is making me think of another book that I started recently. Maybe this is just really convenient because I really want to get back to this book, but the other book is, shockingly enough, The Grace Year. Now, it's obviously a very different time period and scenario, but still, like, the mean teenage girls and the cliques and the coming of age vibes is very similar, and I'm loving this a whole lot more, so I'm gonna get back to this. Let's do it. I do want to make sure that I note these things while I'm reading so I don't forget. Something kind of problematic to me just was I don't know, it wasn't something that happened, but it's something that they were talking about that is problematic to me, which I can't really talk about without it being spoilery, but it's still is that necessary? Anyway, on a completely different note, what are you guys reading lately? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget that sharing this video really helps out my channel, so I'd appreciate it if you click the share button and share it on your YouTube. Back to reading this insanely intense book. And almost to part 3. Good progress. I don't have that much left, and it took a turn I wasn't expecting. At first I was really panicked because I thought, is this gonna be completely different than I thought? I can't really say In what way without being spoilers? That's the thing about this book. You can't talk about it. But the turn that it took is very interesting, and I'm really curious to see what's going to happen with this. It's definitely not what I was expecting at all, but in a very interesting way. To the point where it's the summer of their grace year and they go out in the fall, so this is the last season. There have been some things that I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, and then some things I'm like, do you have to include that? So as much as I was considering, like, is this gonna be a 5-star? Like, is it that high? I don't think that it can be, just because of some of the things that I do personally have issues with. It's still a very intriguing and intense and gripping story, so it will be probably a high rating unless things change in these pages. But we're getting into the last season of their grace year, exile, whatever you want to call it. Okay, we're almost to the end of this. The group of those who survived are making it back, and we're gonna see kind of what happens. Well, that certainly did not disappoint. Yes, I have issues with a lot of things in here. Some like other personal things that if it's in a book, I automatically won't rate it 5 stars. This is just one of those books that stands so far out above others, and you know it's gonna stay with you. I'm so glad that this was not a disappointment, that it wasn't a DNF, that I found this, that I saw it so much. I need to process this. So the next clip that you guys see is me doing the next quiz. I think I'm gonna do like trivia and have like 2 different books, and then like if I get most of the trivia right, it'll be one book, and if I get most of it wrong, it'll be the other. I think that's what you guys are gonna see next, but I will in the background be processing this for a while. I've chosen 2 books, and I am going to do like a bookish trivia, and if I get more than 70% right, I'm gonna read one book, and if I get less than 70% right, I'm gonna read the other. One is a reread and one I've never read before. So I've got Survive the Night by Riley Sager and Scary Close by Donald Miller. Scary Close is a reread for me. I know this book's so good and I really want to get back into it. The downside to it is it's a nonfiction and I don't really want to rush through it. So basically what I would do if I got this is just read as long as I feel comfortable, and then I would stop whenever I'm ready to move on to the next book. This one I really want to try, and I want to see why so many people are so angered by it. Essentially, if I get at least 70% right on the trivia, I'll read Survive the Night, and if I get less than 70% right, I hope I said 70 and not 75. If I get less than 70% right, I will read as much as I want to of Scary Close. So I accidentally hit screen record instead of actually recording, so I didn't get the audio in this clip, but I got 70%, so I got to read Survive the Night. Just here to remind you, if you haven't yet, go ahead and click the subscribe button. I really am trying to grow this channel this year because, well, let's just talk about it. Booktube is definitely one of those things that I can see myself doing long term in some capacity. But like, how amazing would it be if I could do it all the time? Can I be honest? I'm already considering DNFing. I just don't know if I should. I would like to be able to say that I've read it, know like why people like it or don't like it, but at the same time, is it worth it? Like, I'm not so invested in the story that I just like have to know. It moves quickly and had some good quotes. I did decide I'm gonna continue on with this at least for a little bit, see if I just needed a break from it or what. It's not that I'm not vibing with it, it's just that also I don't really want to show this. But it's more so that I'm just not sure this is what I want to read right now. I'm just going to keep going for right now and I'll let you know an update. Okay, so it doesn't look like it, but I've just been doing some skincare and just like general hygiene stuff. I am gonna continue reading. I've actually gotten much closer to the halfway mark and it's going pretty quickly, or at least it feels like it's going quickly. So I'm gonna keep reading, but I am gonna go ahead and turn on my sunrise clock lamp thing. So I may or may not film anymore tonight. Okay, so I got about halfway through this. It looks like a little bit more than halfway, but based on the page numbers, it's halfway. I'm gonna try to continue through this, and I'd like to finish it. And then I potentially want to choose another book, but I may have to end it after this one. We'll see. I forget if I've asked you this, but don't forget to let me know in the comments what you are reading lately. This book is like a train wreck that you just can't look away from. I can understand why people hate this book. I have very mixed feelings at the moment. Like, it's definitely entertaining and engaging, and I don't have that much left. But at the same time, it's like, honestly though, you kind of did this to yourself. But then it's taking a twist that I wasn't expecting. And I don't know. Boy, is this a wild ride. I'm so glad I didn't DNF this. You couldn't make this stuff up. Well, I mean, clearly, obviously, someone did, but like... What? Just a casual reminder to like this video if you're enjoying it. It's definitely been an interesting one. I'll give it that. All I've got to say is these people are whack. Okay, to be fair, the plot twists are pretty good. And I personally, I don't know if I would say I like this book, but I don't despise it like everyone that I've heard. I knew it. I can't. If this is real, I knew it. I started to suspect the end towards the end. I like how that was done. Wow. I'm gonna give this 4 stars. I liked this way better than the last time I lied. Quick moving. So many twists I wasn't expecting. Part of me does feel like 4 stars is a lot more than what I would have rated this before, like, the last few chapters. But that's one thing that I've experienced with both Riley Sager books that I've read. The ending just hits. Like, it's like it comes out of nowhere, and I love that. So I think I am going to give it 4, just because this is very brilliantly put together. I did figure out 2 of the biggest twists. Like, I just knew. I don't know, I kind of appreciated that though, because I feel like it was done in a way that I wasn't disappointed. I wasn't like, oh man, I figured it out. It was like, yes, I figured it out, but it was different than what I thought. Yeah. I gotta collect my thoughts and then choose another book because I still have a little bit of time before this video needs to go up. Okay, it's time to do another quiz, and I'm really feeling like I could use something more lighthearted and less twisted than these two. The next one, I'm just gonna like look for like a book quiz and see if it can suggest a book, and then whatever I have that's like closest to that book is what I will dive into next. Series, all the great cities have souls. New York has 6. Each of these very different people represent its boroughs, and they find themselves suddenly shouldering the responsibility of having to defend New York City from an otherworldly threat. Sounds very lighthearted. I am gonna go look at my shelves and see what I have that's kind of giving that vibe. We'll see what we find. I really do want something a little more lighthearted though, so. Okay, I don't know if I'd necessarily say that this gives the same vibes, but it's standing out to me, so I'm going to try it. This is one that I picked up at a little free library, and I'm uncertain. I feel like this is a good opportunity to try it, so let's get into it. So I was reading this and I got to chapter 5 and I have no reason to DNF yet. So far so good, but I did fall asleep. Anyway, I think this is going to be the end of this video. Successfully read 2 books and got into a third one that so far is a good read. Let me know in the comments, have you read any of these? Do you want to read any of these? Did you enjoy this video? I hope you did. Please give it a thumbs up if you did, and subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss future videos. Next video to go out is supposed to be my 12 challenge video, so I better get that book and read it because I gotta get that out by Monday. And I will talk to you all next time. Thank you guys so much for being here. Bye!